Alright, hello everyone, this is Teamrocketdraws with another Pokemon drawing tutorial. And for this video, we're going to draw Inkay. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how he ends up looking like. So if you guys want to learn how to draw him, let's get started. I'm also going to put up a reference right now on screen. That way you guys can get all the details and at the same time know how he should look like. So first of all, we're just going to start by doing this line right here. You guys can make it any size. And then I'm using right here a spare piece of paper. You guys can use whatever. But I find using a paper easier. So I just mark the length of that line, and then I fold that the corner of the paper to that line just to get the middle, as you guys see me doing right here. And then I just do another line, and then I put it back on that line because I'm gonna mark it off on the paper, because we're gonna do another line going across. It's basically gonna be like a plus sign. There we go. And the reason we're doing this because we're gonna try to do a circle, because I like doing basic shapes at the beginning just to make it a little bit more accurate for you guys, a little bit easier to draw. So right here I'm just measuring each side, which basically should be the middle, and then to make it even easier, what I like to do is I like to do it to the corners right here, but instead of doing the full line, I just mark off the corners, do a little dot. And this is just gonna make it a little bit easier to do the circle. And you guys could do more like in between those. It'll give you like a even better circle, but we're fine with these right here. And then just try to round it off. And remember not to press that hard on your paper, since we are gonna be doing a lot of erasing. Don't press that hard, that way some of those lines could erase easily. There we go. Sorry guys, my throat hurts a little bit. I just woke up like 20 minutes ago. So alright, so now we're gonna extend that middle line going up, the same length of another circle starting at the top right here. So this line should be the length of two circles. There we go. And if you guys are not using a paper, you guys could just guess, like but it might give you a harder time following my tutorial. So I really recommend using just a spare piece of paper. You can use a sticky note. You guys could honestly use anything, computer paper, whatever. So right here we're just gonna do this line right here, cut the top of the circle, and just if you guys notice on the left side it goes a little bit lower than it does on the right side, and this is just basically gonna be like the top of his eyes where the pink starts. And then we're gonna start by doing the nose. So around here we're just gonna do like an oval shape. And if you guys compare it to the line that we did on top and the middle line of the circle, it's almost in the middle in between those two lines, but it's a little bit closer to the top. And now we could just start by doing the eyes, which are basically circles. And as you guys can see right here, it goes a little bit lower than the mouth, than the oval shape. It's just a small detail that you guys could pay attention to. And right here I was just showing you guys how far the eye should be from that middle line. And now for the other eye, which basically should be the same length as over here from the middle line. So what you guys could do is just do a line going across the bottom of the eye, just so you guys could get it right on the other side. You guys don't have to, but just keep that in mind, that they're basically on the same level. And just try to do this one also, just a circle. And this one on the reference, I think it's actually a little bit bigger than the one on the right. But on my drawing, I actually make the right one bigger than this one. But I left it like that because I didn't think it was that noticeable. It wasn't like a big thing, it wasn't gonna ruin the drawing that bad. But I did notice when I was drawing it right here, that's why I erased it. So yeah, he's not gonna look like the reference 100%, but we do end up getting pretty close. I'm happy with the drawing in the end, although I have a hard time doing the white tentacles, or the ears. Basically, they kind of look like ears, but alright. So now for the inside of the eye, we're gonna do once again another circle. And if you guys notice, it's closer to this line right here than it is to the bottom and to the left side of the eye of that circle. And the same thing on this side. It's closer to the left side than it is to the right and the bottom. And if you guys notice, one of the things that you guys could check is that these circles that we're doing in the inside of the eyes are on the same level as the mouth, or at least it's roughly at the same level. So you guys can you know, check that just to make it a little bit more accurate to the reference. And now we could do the highlights in the eyes, which I make them look really derpy on my drawing. I did the one on the right too low. I should have made it a little bit higher. Right here I just erased the nose just to make it a little bit better. I didn't like the shape, so I redraw it. But like I said, the nose should be on the same level as the inside of the eyes, like the black circle that he has on the eye. And then the little smile. Which is kind of weird because he's like a squid, and squids actually have their mouth in between the tentacles, like right at the bottom. Their tentacles are hiding the mouth, so it's kind of weird having the mouth there. So right there at the bottom of the circle, we're just gonna do that line, and then around here we're just gonna connect it. And this is gonna be the tentacle, like the main one, the middle one. As you guys see, it doesn't go that far away from the circle, outside of the circle. And now for this one, it's actually pretty close to that line that we just did. And this line goes roughly like in between the one that we just did and the outside of the circle, like the right side. And then the last tentacle is the smallest. It's pretty small, so we could just connect it to the circle here, and we could erase the extra part of the circle. And now for this side, right here I make it too curvy. I curve it too much, way too much, so I do end up erasing it just in a little bit. But right there I was just roughly showing you guys that it's like in between that section of the circle. Yes, we erase it, because if you guys look at the reference, it's almost a straight line going up, except that it curves at the top. I do make a bit better later on, because remember, this is a sketch still, so we can make any changes later on. You know, this is not the final drawing. So now for this tentacle, this one I actually make it way bigger, way thicker than it is. If you guys look at the reference, it's pretty skinny compared to the size that I make it. Like, I make it really big, and it should be way skinnier than this one, than I did it. So I do change that later on. So if you guys want, you know, you guys can make it a little bit thinner than I did it. That way you guys won't have to change it later on, but I do change that. And if you guys notice that where the tentacles start, they're all roughly in the same level, like right in the middle of the circle that we did at the beginning. Alright, so now for the top right here, we're gonna do this line, and the middle is actually a little bit to the left of that line, which is right here. And this line is probably like the length of the inside of the eye, like the black part. Once again, it's a rough estimate. And now this is gonna be like the point of the top of his head. So now it starts around here, a little bit higher than the middle line of the circle. And we're just gonna make this like upside down heart shape. It might take you guys a couple tries to get this shape right. I don't think I do it. I think this side I do it right, or at least to me it was okay. But on the right side, it does take me a couple tries to get it right. And if you guys notice, this one starts roughly at the same level as the eye right there, as I show you guys. Like this one I rounded off way too much, like. Yeah, right here. It's too big right there. I make it go way further than it actually is. I changed that later on, guys. Alright, so now around here, like the top of the eye, we're gonna do this line right here, which is basically the same length as the other one, and then we're just gonna connect them. And this part top of his head kind of reminds me of like a nurse hat, like Nurse Joy. I don't know why, it just kind of looks like a hat. Alright, so now we're gonna do this line and then do another line around here, and basically is the same length as the other two. And this one right here. So just roughly try to make it the same and then just connect them, you know, make it parallel to the heart shape. And if it doesn't look right, guys, you guys could always change it later on, like I said before. I think I do change that, like the left side, because it kind of looks like it's way too much to the left. But we're good with that for now. So now for these white tentacles, like I said before, actually have a hard time doing these, but this line should basically be up to the bottom of the circle that we did at the beginning, a little bit higher than the tentacles. This around here. If you guys do a line going at the bottom of the circle that we did at the beginning, going across the paper, this line should basically end there. And right here, where at the top, it should be the same thickness as the nose. Something that I didn't notice while I was drawing these lines, these tentacles. So that's why I think I was having a hard time. But the top should be like the same thickness as the nose, like the oval shape. And now for this one starts almost in the middle of the circle, and then it should roughly stop right there, aligned with the last tentacle right there. And once again, right here, it should be the same thickness. And I was just showing you guys right here that it starts at the same level. And now we can just extend it. Like I said before, I have a hard time actually make the right one like good, but I end up erasing it because I was trying to make the right one the same as the left one, but it should have been the opposite, because the right one actually looks okay in some of the times that I do it. Because right here at the bottom, it kind of like spreads open a little bit, and then the point should roughly be at the same level as the tentacles. So this one's okay right now, like that one's alright. I should have tried to copy the left one to the right one, you know, but for some reason I kept trying to make the right one like the left one, and the left one was just way off. So that's why it takes me a few tries to do it. So you guys can look at the reference just to get a better idea, you know. You guys don't have to follow me. If you guys can make it better, go for it. I'm a call out on my mistakes, so hopefully you guys don't do the same thing. So like this line is alright right now. I should have left it like that, but for some reason I keep doing it, overworking it. And there's always something that I have a hard time doing, even if it's really simple. For example, I'm really bad at doing eyes, if you guys seen my other videos. But like the simplest things are so hard sometimes for me that I don't know why, like especially if they're like the same, you know, if you have to repeat the same shape. I have a hard time doing that. So I'm gonna skip this, guys, because like I said, I have a hard time doing this, but we're basically done. The only thing we need now, no wait, actually we still need the heart shape, the detail. So I guess I'll just leave this a little bit longer. Sorry for that. See, like this one right now, I make it way too long. It goes way lower than the tentacle, so that's why I erase it. And this is my first time drawing Inkay, so that's why it's a little bit harder at the beginning if it's the first time. But once and right here I just gave up on that tentacle, so I just started doing the heart. It's a good thing to skip some parts if you guys are having trouble with them, and then just start later on. So right here I was just showing you guys that it's parallel to the heart shape, and then this one starts around here, and it's basically the same right here, and you just make it a little bit smaller. And if you guys are planning to color it, I recommend that you guys don't press that hard right here. because if you guys look at the reference, that part is not outlined. It's just the color and the white. So if you guys are planning to color it, don't like press on that too hard on that line. The same thing goes for these circles right here, which are basically like the same size as the eye, like the inside of the eye, the black part. This one as well, I think I point out right here. Right there, I was just pointing out the distance between the circle and the middle line that we did at the beginning, going up the circle. Now it has another one right here. And the smallest right there shapes are the same size as the nose. I mean, as the mouth, as I pointed out right there. It's roughly the same size. You know, you guys can compare that. And now I give it another go on the white tentacles right here. I think the reason I was having a hard time is because it curves more on the reference. If you guys look at it, it kind of goes to the left a little bit, and I did make it go to the left a little bit, but it's not curved enough, you know. So I think that's one of those problems that I had that I didn't notice while I was doing the drawing. So I'll just skip this part, guys. I'll show you guys my full drawing. But once you have your drawing and you're happy with it, your sketch, you know, go ahead and go over it. You know, if something doesn't look right, now's the time to change it. For example, if the eyes don't look right or they don't match, now's the time to change it, because now that you guys got your full sketch, it's easier to notice any mistakes, or at least notice anything that you guys can make better. And a lot of people, what they do at this stage is that they ink their drawing with the Sharpie or with the pen. They just go over the outlines and then they just erase all the pencil markings. But I don't do that. What I like to do is I like to erase my whole drawing, like completely erase my drawing. Even though I'm erasing it, I can still see some of those lines, since I did press a little bit harder on my paper, just so it could be visible on the lines, could be visible on the video. But I can still see those lines. And then this is the time where I focus on the reference. I try to make the lines better. If something doesn't look right, I change it. I try to make the lines a little bit more natural, and by natural I mean that they're not stiff, like they're not straight, like they're pretty much round. For example, at the top of the nurse hat, if you guys look at it, it doesn't have any sharp edges. They're a little bit curved, a little bit round. So this is where I try to do that. I make the tentacles a little bit more smooth, you know, try to make them a little bit better, the lines and everything. So as you guys can see right here, this is how he ends up looking like, all finished, just the outline. I did make some changes. If you guys pay close attention, you guys will see some of the things that I changed. You guys can still see the lines where they used to be, but I just worked a little bit on the white tentacles, try to make them a little bit better. Also at the bottom tentacles, the blue ones, the ones on the left that I said that I made the second one way too thick. If you guys pay close attention to the bottom, I actually made it a little bit skinnier, the second tentacle, so I worked on that. And what else? I didn't think I made that many changes. So yeah, hopefully you guys found this tutorial helpful. And I did end up coloring it. As you guys can see right here, I'm actually really bad at coloring, but this time I'm happy with it. It's not the best drawing and coloring, but for me it was a big deal because I'm not good at coloring. If you guys seen my other videos, and this time I actually took my time because I like the page on Facebook. It's called Pokemon New Generation. So if you guys want to check it out, go check it out and like the page. There's a good community of Pokemon fans, and a lot of people there. They post their like drawings and everything. It kind of inspires you, you know. So there's a lot of good people that they're really good at drawing. So, and they're really good at coloring. So they kind of inspired me to take my time, you know, on the coloring. I use color pencils, by the way. And overall, I'm really happy with it. I actually took my time. Usually I just like try to hurry up and pack in my colors because I don't normally color my drawings. The only reason I color them is just for the videos. So if it was up to me, I wouldn't color my drawings just because I like them in pencil, you know, in shading. So yeah, so if you guys found this tutorial helpful, guys, please let me know. Also leave a like. It really helps out my channel. It helps my video out. If you guys have any suggestions, make sure to leave a comment. but just keep in mind that it might take me a while to do your suggestion, but it doesn't hurt leaving one, you know. So I guess I could talk about the colors that I used. For the pink part, I used like a peach color because I have a set of 64 color pencils. So even though you have a set of 64, it doesn't mean that you're gonna have the right colors for some of the Pokemon, since they are made in the computer, you know. They have like more colors in the computer. But for like the highlights, I use like this really light peach color. It's kind of like a skin color. And I just pressed on the paper really lightly, and then on the dark areas, on the pink areas, I just used like a normal pink, and once again I just pressed on it really lightly. And I like that effect because usually I pack in my color, like I press hard on the color pencil, and it's more like the color is more in there, you know, it's more stronger. So doing it this way, it kind of like it was not the thing that I normally do, but I'm happy with it. I think it came out way better. Like this, just pressing softly on the paper, and then for like the yellow, I used the gold on the outside, like on the ring, and then the inside I used the yellow, regular yellow, although it's not that noticeable. But if you guys know what I mean, you guys can still see the outline of the pink. That's why I said during the video not to make that line too dark, because this one of the things that could happen, you know, that you guys can still see the pencil, and it kind of ruins the drawing a little bit, but at the same time it's not that bad, you know. And then for the body, I just used like a regular blue, and then I just pressed a little bit more on the paper, or it just went over a little bit more on the on the edges, and then just I left like a white highlight in the middle of his body. And then for the shaded area at the bottom, I just used like a little bit darker blue, you know. And overall I think I'm really happy with it. And then for like the eyes, I just used the gray, light gray, and then for the top I used the darker gray, and then I just went over it with the black, like barely on the paper, like I barely pressed on it. And I like that effect. It came out really good. And the outline is just in pencil, because a lot of people, they outline in a pen or ink or whatever, but I like how it looks just in pencil, you know. When I use color pencils, I like the pencil outline just because it kind of goes with it, you know. It doesn't take like take all the attention away from the drawing. So I'm happy with how it came out. So if you guys, once again, if you guys found the tutorial helpful, let me know in the comment section, leave a like. And if this is the first video that you guys seen by me, make sure to check out my channel. I have over I think now 100 or around 100 Pokemon drawing tutorials. So if you guys like to draw Pokemon, make sure to check out my channel and subscribe for more videos. So I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. And before I go, if you guys have any Pokemon drawings that you guys want to share, check out the links in the description. You guys could send me your drawings, and then I'll post them at the beginning of my videos, that way everybody could see them. So make sure to check out the description, and I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. Team Rocket Draws out.